Route planning. Introductions. PM3D has a very powerful and easy to use editor for route planning. It allows the navigator to plan a route with high accuracy, considering dangerous areas along the line, calculating estimated time available to every waypoint, and taking into account the great circle of the Earth. Drawing the route. Before drawing the route, you have to care about the settings first. So route planning, and there is a setting. Before you start planning the route, you need to know the basic settings. Every route is constructed from the waypoints connected to each other. In this menu, you can determine their default settings. They are applied when you start planning the route. Remember that these settings will apply as default, but you can always change every waypoint setting when you need to. Click Route, Route Planning, Setting, and view them. One of the most important settings of the waypoint is the type of navigation, great circle or long line. The great circle navigation considers the shape of the Earth as a sphere. This mode is useful when you are navigating in long distances. The long line mode connects waypoints using straight lines. ECDIS port and ECDIS starboard. These are the cross-track distances, acceptable values of deviation from the route in nautical miles from the port and starboard sides, respectively. AC is the arrival circle, artificial boundary placed around the destination waypoint. You can change its radius. Turning radius and planned speed are also very important parameters that can help the software calculate the rate of turn and time of arrival. You can enter default speed of passing the waypoint and the turning radius, so other settings will be calculated by ECDIS. You will be able to edit the rate of turn manually when waypoints are created, so ECDIS will change the needed turning radius to make a turn. When you plan the route, you'll see warnings about dangerous areas along the way. In warnings, you can change the distance from your route where the software will alarm you during the route planning. To enter the graphic editor and start creating a route, go to Route, Planning, and Graph Edit. You'll see the route planning window in the left bottom side of the screen. And the cursor will turn to the cross shape. Click on the chart to create the first waypoint. The place where you've clicked will be the starting point of your route. You'll probably see a range outline area. These are the warnings about dangerous areas where the route shouldn't lie for safety regions, which can be seen in the route planning window. Anyway, you can pave the path there if you need to. Click the other point of the chart to create the next waypoint. Waypoints will connect by the line between them, creating a route. You can create as many waypoints as you want. Remember that you may not be too precise in placing them, because it's always possible to change their positions or create more waypoints between existing ones. To finish drawing the route, right-click. Now you can edit the route to make it more accurate. You'll see options in the route planning window. Click Check to highlight dangerous areas near your route. Leave this button pressed so you can see them all the time that you plan the route. Click Edit to edit the route. In the edit mode, you can move any existing waypoint by clicking it and dragging to another position. So, if you click somewhere on the route leg and the edit mode, it'll create a waypoint in that location. You can move in anywhere and then click again to put it. So edit, and the cursor will change in this shape. Now if you click the leg of the route, you can add, and if you click the waypoints, you can move the waypoints and create here. And when you want to delete that, place your cursor where you want to delete and press the delete button on the keyboard, and you can delete very easily. And click add. You can add from the last waypoints. Add. And next, text editing. This is all the waypoints that you've created with your mouse cursor. And the main editing menu opens when you click text. And here you can see the whole information about the route in the table. You can see detailed information about every waypoint of the route and a corresponding row. You can name every waypoint of the route, typing it in this text field. These are waypoints coordinates, latitude, longitude. You can change it manually in this table by clicking the needed latitude or longitude and typing the desired value. And this is the estimated speed of passing the waypoints. And this parameters determines if the waypoints are connected to the rhombine navigation or the Great Circle navigation. An XTD port and XTD starboard cross-track distance, cross-track distance starboard side, and it's a larboard circle, a radius, turning radius, and RT, rate of turns here. And TRK, this is the course that you have to keep to reach to the next waypoint when moving from this one. And this is the distance. This is the distance between this waypoint to the next one in nautical miles. And this is time to go from this waypoint from the previous one. And this is the estimated time of a LIBOR to this waypoint. To add the new waypoint between existing one, left click on the one number here, left click, and you can choose add before or add after, and at the same time you can delete it. To edit the attribute of many waypoints at once, you need to select them clicking the right mouse button on their numbers. A small triangle near the number means that the waypoint is selected. Then click on heading of the value that you need to set. For example, to set the XTD port of the first three waypoints of the route, right click on their numbers, left click XTD port, and set it 0.5. And you will see that only selected ones are changed. And you can also select all waypoints, right click the number text label. Delete button will be activated when some waypoints are selected. If you click it, selected waypoints will be deleted. If you are navigating on the big great circle leg, you can divide it into many rhombline legs, adding more waypoints on the core distances between the start and end waypoints of the leg. So here I show you. I will just add, and I will draw. I will go to Los Angeles around the America. Here. Click. And now this is slump line, and I go to text, and I change this slump line to a great circle, and I choose with right click 10 and 11, and here you can decide about 3 degree, every 3 degree, or every 5 or 10 degrees. So I choose 10 and I click dividers, and now if you apply that, you will see that all lump lines are divided into the great circle according to the great circles. And you can also invert the route using the inverse button. If you do it, all the waypoints will change the order to the reversed. So the first waypoint will become the last, and the last will become the first. So you can do that from here, the planning, inverse, or here you will see that and the arrow to the left. This is inverse buttons. And in case of such an ASCII route, predefined expanding square route and sector search routes and parallel tracks routes, just 3 of them are pre-planned here. So you can set the number of sectors, search radius, and turn angles. And if you set that, let me show you how it looks like. Route, planning, search and rescue. So you can change 3 of them. And if you press monitoring, it will just start route monitoring by itself. No need to save, just start from that step. Once the route is planned, after you create some of the routes, and come to here, plan, route planning, and save as. So you can name it test. I will name it test, and OK, and close. And if you click the road, you will see that all the route plan that you created. So if you open that, you can roll that plan. Close. Route monitoring introductions. Where you've got the planned route and you are ready to use it in the actual navigation, you should use the route monitoring function. All the routes that you've saved are available for monitoring anytime. Route monitoring information. If you've just finished planning the route, you should close the route planning before you start monitoring it by clicking Route, Planning, Close. To start monitoring the route, go to Route, Monitoring, and click Load. And you will see the list of routes saved in the ECDIS. Click the route that you need. You will see the route now colored in the red or orange color, which means that this route is ready for navigation. You will also see the information about the route in the left side of the screen. You will see the route now colored in orange, which means that this route is ready for navigation. You will also see the information about the route in the screen. You will see the route now colored in orange, which means that this route is ready for navigation. You will also see the information about the route in screen. First, let's take a look at the route information panel. Last waypoint highlighted, this one. In this part of the panel, you can see the estimated time of arrival to the last waypoints when moving this with fixed speed. So if you enable this last waypoint here, this is last waypoint panels. And you can click on the speed to correct it. So after this, we'll calculate the time of arrival to the last waypoints according to that speed. So if I set this one is at 15 knots, and now ETA is 10, 19, 18 October. But if I increase the speed here and click OK, then you will see that time, the ETA is getting earlier than before. In the opposite way, that if you click the fixed ETA, maybe I say that the agents are requesting to arrive, requiring to arrive at the port maybe 17 in the same time. In that case, you have to navigate your vessels 1,000 knots. So you can calculate, and especially this when you have to report them, or sometimes the customers requesting to hurry a lot. In that case, you come to here, speed, and insert your maximum speed, 17 knots, and you can calculate very easily with these functions. And here, second sectors are, first one is name of route, task, I name it task, and total length is 55 nautical miles, and total time to go, it takes 2 days and 3 hours 47 minutes, and ETA estimated time of arrival is 20 October 8:38. That's my ETA. And ETG, it's a distance to go from present location. That you have to navigate 51.79 nautical miles. And third sector is waypoints, which you are heading to. So this is now I'm going to waypoint 4, and it's a lump line. And cross track distance port side 0.3, and 3 cable I'm away from the route to port side, and it's a course, planned course, it's a 142, and BTW is a bearing to waypoint. So to waypoint 4, to reach to there, I have to change my course to 153. And this WWW, you will see the same word here. It's all about hill over point. So distance to hill over point. So 1.3 miles remains to next to alter course. And there's a time to hill over line. It remains 1 20 minutes. So 120 minutes later you have to enter your course. And wheel of a time, it's really similar with the ETA. So 18 October 6, you will make or you have to enter your course. So by checking this time, so watchkeeping duty officer can expect that whether the alternation of course will happen during my duty or my next duty will do that. So very easily you can check that. It's from here. And this is next course. Next course is 181. So it's quite simple and very useful and very effective and very stable with monitoring you can do with this one. If the system doesn't set the next waypoint correctly, you can always change it manually. Go to Route, Monitoring, and you'll see the next waypoints options. You can see the current next waypoint in this field. You can change its value if it's not correct. When you change it, you'll see the changes in the monitoring panel too. It will show you the information about the next waypoint that you've set. And this auto buttons will return the next waypoint's value to the one that has been calculated by ECDIS. And these buttons can move the next waypoint to the current one or the previous. And you can enter the last waypoint here. And if you plan to say only part of the route, you can set a waypoint somewhere in the middle of the route as the last waypoint. If you do it, ECDIS will acknowledge the chosen waypoint as the last one and will show appropriate information in the monitoring panel. So you can enter last waypoint here. It will change whole monitoring plan. So the last waypoint checkbox determines if the last waypoint panel is shown. It's highly recommended to keep it enabled. An alternative route here. So if there is some part of the route that requires corrections regarding circumstances, you can plan an alternative route which should alter from the main one by some waypoints. To create it, you can edit existing routes and save it by another name. For example, you want to navigate around an island from the other side. You can plan an alternative route where the island will be on the starboard side. Don't forget to save it with another name. Then when you've loaded the main route into the route monitoring, you can load an alternative route in route monitoring alternative load. Choose the route name and it'll be loaded as an alternative. When you've approached the waypoint where the route should change to alternative one, to switch the route back to the main one, click this button again. If you want to load another alternative route, you should first close the one that is in use. To do it, click Route, Monitoring, Alternative, Close. Route monitoring settings. Let's explore settings for the route monitoring. Mainly, they are related to the route and its parameters appearance, so the navigator can choose which parameters of the routes will be displayed on the map and which ones. To view them, go to Route, Monitoring, Settings. When the time tag option is enabled, you will see the time mark of every hour on the route that will show the estimated time of arrival to the point where the next hour begins. The lag speed determines the source of the speed for calculating ETA, total time to go, and time takes for the current lag. If the speed is chosen, The source is an actual vessel's speed. If it shows route, the information will come from the speed parameter from the route planning. Route line determines the style of the route. Symbol style is the one that comes from S52. The route is shown as big red dot.